Hello, welcome back. We're going to work on a coffee cup tonight. So let's go to top view here. Actually, we're in perspective mode. So this is the way the scene opens up when you first start Blender. I'm going to hit number 5 on the number pad, go to normal view, number 7 for top view. I'll click X to get rid of the object, the default cube, and Shift A. I'm going to add a new mesh and make it a circle. You can see it's got 32 vertices over here, the default, and that's going to be perfect for our coffee cup. Back to side view, number 3 in the number pad. I'll scroll in a little bit. We've got these little helper arrows. I'm going to get rid of them for now by clicking down here. And I'm going to hit the tab button, which will put us into edit mode. I could click down here as well too, but I like the shortcut keys. Shift middle mouse. We're going to slide the whole thing down. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and I'm just scrolling with the middle mouse button. I'm going to extrude E key and lift straight up. By holding down the control button, that will constrain the extrudes or the extruding to 5-degree increments, and that looks pretty good. That's straight right there. So I'll click, and we've got our object. You know what? I don't think I quite got that straight, did I? I'm going to hit Control Z, extrude again, hold down the control button, and click. There we go. That's better. I'm going to hit Z, and we'll see it in wireframe mode. And now what I'm going to do, back to 3, is I'm going to scale this out a little bit. And it kind of looks like a garbage can right now, especially if we hit Z. But that's okay. We'll make it look a little bit better in a second. Z again, 3 to go back to side view. And I'm going to scroll in here. We're going to do a series of very small extrusions. So first one, E key. We'll just extrude up a tiny little bit, right about there. S to scale it in. And we're making the brim of the cup. Extrude again. This time I'm going to go down, scale this in again. Now it's going to be a little bit sharp right now. It goes up and then right back down again. But we're going to soften that. We're going to smooth it out in a few minutes here. So now what I'm going to do is scroll out, middle mouse button, shift middle mouse, extrude all the way down, hold the tab key so we get this nice and straight, and constrain it to even increments. Click. And I did that wrong again. Let's try that again. Extrude, hold down the control button, click, and scale it in. S key to scale it in. Okay, so we're pretty close to having this thing actually look a bit like a coffee cup, except for that there's no bottom. If we hit the F key, that'll fill it in. So we've actually got something that looks kind of like a coffee cup. I hit the tab button, which put us back into object mode. I'll click smooth, and that's actually not bad. Let's put a handle on this cup. So I'm going to hit A, deselect everything. I'm going to click the 3D cursor over here, Shift A to add. I'm going to make a mesh, and this time I'll do a circle again. Now 32 vertices is going to be too many vertices for our handle. I think 15 is probably a good number. And actually, if you go to top view, I'm going to isolate this by hitting the backslash on the number pad. As I drag the vertices, you can actually see it change. And the smallest number of vertices that you can have to make a supposed circle is 3. We're going to go up to about 15, I guess that's enough. We're just going to try and limit the vertices where we can. Okay, that's good. I'm going to switch to side mode. I'm going to scale this down a little bit. I'm going to shift middle mouse. I'm going to put the 3D cursor over here, roughly about here. And I'm going to switch to edit mode, which brings up a different set of buttons. And I'm going to spin this. There's a spin button. Oh, I should have gone up like this. So what we did was we told it, or inside of the options for spin, we've got it set somewhere here to 90 degrees and 9 increments. Click spin again, and we've got 180 degrees in total now. I'll hit the tab button. We'll click set smooth. We'll hit the backslash to bring it back into our other object. Not quite what we want, but we'll scale it down. We'll rotate it. And that's not bad, actually. I might scale it up just slightly. And I'm going to grab it, and we can actually, well, it'll take a little bit of playing around here. And I was hitting the R key to rotate. I'm going to go to top view. Oh, it's pretty close. Usually I've got to move it a little bit. Maybe I'll put these arrows back in. That can be handy. So we can slide it evenly along one axis. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here, and I could just slide it over a little bit. The only thing is a coffee cup probably has a little bit of a straight part on the end. So I'm going to hit Z, and you'll see what I mean in a second. I'll hit the tab button. Oh, we got lucky. The last set of vertices are already selected. We could just drag them out like that. I'm going to Control Z, or we could also extrude them. So let's extrude them out, and we'll make sure that they're just inside the geometry of our cup. And I'm going to scale it out a little bit too. That might just, I don't know, might make it look a little bit better. Shift middle mouse, hit the A key, and now I need to select these vertices. I'm going to use the B key to do that, and I'm going to go drag over top. Hopefully I just get the ones I want. It looks pretty good. Yeah, I got them all. Back to side view. Extrude once again. Scale out a little bit, like that. And let's see what we got. Hit the Z key. And yeah, it's not too bad. Okay, I'm going to scroll out. We want to join these two meshes together so we have one object, because right now they're separate. I can grab this and move it around. I'll hit escape. So I'm going to select both, go down to Object and Join. And now this is a single object. Next, what I'm going to do is add a material. So of course I go to the Materials button, click New, and I don't know, let's make it kind of a purple color, reddish, I don't know, purple. There we go. I don't know if that's purple. You can decide what color that is. Then I'll go to the Texture button, and from Texture we'll click New, and I'm going to select Clouds. Where are clouds on here? There we go. So we don't see that actually showing up here in the 3D window, but when we hit F12 to render it, we'll see that there's kind of clouds. Well, if you use your imagination, you might see clouds in there. It's not exactly what I was going for. Let's try something else here. Let's try marble, see how that looks. Or hit F12, render it. Still not quite what we want. There's some setting that's out a little bit here. Size and turbulence. Okay, our turbulence, you can experiment with those settings. That still is not quite giving us what I was hoping to get, but that's okay. The colors that we're getting are a mixture. One color comes from the material button, the other comes from the texture. And I'm going to change this to kind of a blue color, just so it's a little more dramatic. And again, we don't see that in the 3D window, but when we render this, F12, you can see that we've got a mixture of blue and red. This is kind of a funky looking cup, but anyway, we'll go with it. So I'm going to switch to top view, scroll out a little bit, select the camera, go back to side view, and what I'm going to do now is use 4 and 6 to rotate. 4 and 6 let me rotate freely until I get to this point, and I'm just going to rotate slightly so I lift that camera up a little bit. The problem was the camera wasn't really seeing the entire cup. That's a bit better. Hit the 7. 0 is camera view, by the way, 0 on the number pad. I'm going to select the cup, and I'm going to rotate it so that it's we can actually see the handle. F12, do this one more time, and look at that. We've got our coffee cup.